Hello, parents and students. This is Kyle Rohr. I'm the principal at Powell Middle School. We're just going to go through a brief PowerPoint, Mr. Buck and myself. Just a little bit of a informative overview of what to expect at Powell Middle School. We'll touch on some of the need to knows, the procedures, protocols, and expectations, and hopefully answer any questions that some of you may have prior to coming to school. To begin with, just we'll close with this slide as well, but we want to invite you guys to the middle school, have an open house Thursday evening, August 19th, starting at 4 o'clock. You can see we have the alphabet broke out there. Do the best you can to follow that. It'll just kind of relieve some of the congestion in the hall because typically there's a couple adults per kid, and so roughly 140 kids. So we try to carve that out just so everybody has plenty of room to get in their lockers, meet the teachers, and become familiar with their schedule as well as the school. So once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video covering the PowerPoint. One of the things that your child will be receiving when they get their schedule is a sixth grade t-shirt, and it's orange, and so that can actually be worn during PE as well. We have found in the past that those shirts get a lot of mileage, and so our BLT, which is our parent group, we all work to get some fundraisers together and some donors, and so we're able to provide these t-shirts to the students, and it kind of welcomes them and makes them a part of Powell Middle School right off the bat. Again, I'm Mr. Rohr, I'm the principal. Coming up here in a couple slides will be Mr. Buck, he's the assistant principal activities director. And then below that are our three counselors, Mrs. Winky, Mrs. Fitzgerald, and Dr. Dillevin. I will get ready to touch on the staff that sixth grade students will interact with. As you can see on the left, our core content teachers. For math, we have Mrs. Simpson and Mr. Bonander. For our ELA, we have Mrs. Horton and Mrs. Warren, and then Mrs. Johnston teaches social studies and Mrs. Hanks teaches science. Our special ed teachers are Miss Lovett and Mrs. Wanalock. And then those electives teachers on the right-hand side are teachers that your child will most likely have. Band is optional, so not all kids will have them, but all kids will have PE, so either Miss Boer or Mr. Orem. And then the quarterly electives that Mr. Buck will hit on, Mrs. Anderson teaches the family and consumer science, kind of like home ec. And then Mrs. Catlin teaches digital citizenship and computer science. Mrs. Hitz teaches health. Mrs. Schessler teaches music. Then again, if students are interested in band, Mr. Fabella will be the band teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Buck. I'm the assistant principal here at Powell Middle School. As Mr. Rohr mentioned, I'm going to go over the next handful of slides with you here today just to give you an introduction really of what to expect that first day of school for your student, as well as maybe prompt some questions for you as a parent coming into that open house on August 19th. Your student schedule is going to be broken up into 10 class periods throughout the day. Seems a bit overwhelming initially, but one of those is going to be their lunch period. And really two other classes are going to consume 2 periods. We do block our lit and comp classes, so that's our ELA block, which will consume 2 class periods. And then math is also going to consume 2 class periods. That's a block class. Students get breaks in between those class periods just like every other class. But really, as far as their schedule goes, you're really only going to see about 7 class periods, or excuse me, 7 individual classes throughout the day. They do get to start their day in either PE or one of their elective classes. Pretty good for an 11-year-old to kick off the day with some physical activity. PE daily. They're going to have PE every single day throughout the year, throughout their 7th and 8th grade year too, something we're very proud of here. That's going to be in conjunction with one of their quarterly elective classes. So they're going to take digital citizenship, computer science, health, or music throughout the school year. They'll get exposure to each of those 4 classes, and they're going to be 9 weeks each, again in conjunction with PE. Lunch is about 35 minutes long. We get students into the lunchroom for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we do get them outside for some exercise and some fresh air. And then during 8th period, students will get really a third elective here. they're going to either have the option to take WIN, which is a great study skills class, a lot of support for students individually, good classroom ratios with classified and certified staff and students to help them with intervention or maybe enrichment, just some good help on assignments that were um, assigned throughout the day to kind of button things up there during that eighth period time that afternoon. Or they may take band during that time. So sixth graders do have the option to take band, and then that's also going to be an elective during their seventh and eighth grade years. Again, to be brief, I'm certainly not going to go through each one of these bullet points in great detail or any detail for that matter. Students will get exposure to this in their core classes the first couple of weeks of school. Staff will go through the student handbook. They're going to review expectations. They're going to review school-wide policies. And then Mr. Rohr and myself also like to sit down with students during PE, either the first or second week of school. We talk to every student in the building. And our purpose there is to again, get to know faces, to get to know names, to go over school-wide expectations and give them some tips for success throughout the school year. One of the burning questions that a lot of our incoming sixth graders have during that spring orientation is what happens if we get in trouble? Parents, we don't spend a whole lot of time or energy investing on what happens if they get in trouble rather than recognizing the positive or the great things that happen on a daily basis. Our staff does a tremendous job implementing different systems to recognize positive behaviors. There are things that are happening daily within the classroom. There are things that are happening on daily or weekly within our building. We recognize things during lunchtime. We recognize things during activity days that are on a quarterly basis. There's a lot going on here that really celebrates the positive, and that's where a lot of our time and investment goes. Another big question that we hear from students is what is appropriate to wear to school, or what do we need to bring for PE? Core classroom teachers will go through this through the student handbook review, and PE staff will go over this information, what their expectations are in PE, and really assisting kids with really hygiene and safety in PE as well the first couple of days of school. No need to come prepared for PE the first day of school. PE staff will outline when to do that and how to do that. But again, this will all be reviewed with teachers the first couple of weeks to make sure that students are comfortable and have those questions answered. A lot of our students have some form of communication device, most cell phones, but we also see smartwatches, we see tablets, etc. Our policy here to eliminate distractions in the learning environment is we say cell phones are okay to come to school, certainly appropriate for obvious reasons. However, bell to bell is our policy. So students often will be on a cell phone when they come into the building, but when that bell rings in the morning, we ask that that is stowed away and concealed either in their locker or in a bag. But it's not to be out in the public eye. It's not to be out as a distraction. Even those chimes, those text messages, those emails, those notifications, buzzing in the pocket can be very distracting in the classroom, not only for them, but for other students in the classroom. So we ask that those are put away. If a student does need to reach out to a family member or someone because it's an emergency, they can ask an adult. That's just fine. We understand the need for that. But do know that we have a phone available down in the front office, and students regularly come down to use that to reach out to family members throughout the day. If a student does have a phone confiscated or some device confiscated, I run a tally there. We usually have conversations with kids. We practice to do that on a consistent basis. One time it happens. If it happens frequently, that second time you may hear from Mr. Rohr or myself or a classroom teacher. The third time, we probably ought to come up with some form of a plan. But more often than not, students do a great job and are very responsible with their individual device. This is also a big question for those incoming sixth grade students is, what do I do if something doesn't sit right with me, or I heard something or I saw something? A lot of this is foundational with the relationships that we build the first day of school. That's where our energy goes. We want to build those positive relationships with our students the first couple of days of school and the first few weeks of school, so that they feel comfortable. They have an adult to go to. They can reach out if something doesn't sit right with them, and we can guide them or follow through with something if need be. Parents, if something comes home and your student doesn't seem to be comfortable, or they're sharing some information with you that is concerning, please let us know. Please reach out. You can reach out to individual teachers, myself, Mr. Rohr, via email, or give us a call. The sooner, the timeliness of that information, the better off that we can help support you and your child. Some approaches, proactive approaches that we practice here at Powell Middle School. One being a curriculum that's going to be um, provided to your student on a weekly basis. We're going to do this on Friday afternoons, something that is a part of our district-wide strategic plan that helps really walk through those unique situations, both socially and academically, and building those skills. We always look at how we can grow and be better. This is strongly through a team-wide approach. Maybe we're being proactive through unique situations, or we're reviewing something that came up where we want to prevent it from happening again. Again, building those strong, positive relationships with staff and students, helping kids understand what the proper response is, what's the hierarchy, who do you go to, who do you feel most comfortable going to, how soon should it be. This is a life skill, and something that we instill throughout our building. And again, really focusing on the positives there. There's a lot of really cool things, systems that we have in place, whether it's the bingo board in our commons, or if it's Friday Live and kids are drawing names out of a wheel to win a cookie at lunch. There's things that we practice consistently in order to recognize those positive behaviors. And for all parents and guardians, can't emphasize enough how valuable communication is. Proactively, we will reach out to you through a lot of different avenues here, whether it be through grade level teams or building, or maybe even district-wide. But two, I want to really emphasize Canvas. The sooner you can get established in this LMS, the better and more successful you're going to be able to support your child academically. A lot of communication through Canvas, but really a lot of it is academic. Just making sure that they're on top, your students are organized and they're doing well in their individual classes. There are ways to reach out to individual teachers through this platform. Just a tremendous tool that we've really enjoyed. It's going to be 6/12 too, so your child is going to be in Canvas probably through their high school career. Another avenue, if you do follow social media and you're on Facebook, if you go in and join our Powell Middle School Facebook page, a lot of great information there, photos, videos, a lot of celebration, but just valuable information in general. And here's where I could probably spend the rest of the afternoon going over some of the topics that we felt were important to share with you, or valuable to share with you, particularly if you haven't had a middle school student come through before. That consistent time at home every night, just checking in, whether it be homework or just seeing how their day's going. Maybe one of the challenges that they work through that day. That consistency especially on weekdays, on a nightly basis, really is going to be a great tool to help support your child. Making sure that you're checking that LMS, following up on academics, that you have an established place and location to charge that laptop every night and it's away from your child. That technology, both through social media and communication with peers, but just that light in general, whether your student is a big gamer or they're following something else, can be a huge distraction later on in the evening hours. But staying on top of that social media too. This is the age, and social media unfortunately has had a tremendous negative trend on a lot of our adolescents in both middle school and high school. So staying on top of it, knowing what your child is exposed to, what are they following, is very valuable and a great way to help support your child. Again, we're looking forward to seeing you all here August 19th. Please reach out if there's anything we can do for you in the meantime.